Hey everybody, Matthew Solomon here, and this is a do-over from yesterday. I did a video from my happy place down at the beach, and the wind was crazy. So it was, as some of you may have noticed, it was hard to hear the audio. So I apologize for that. So consent and boundaries are sexy, not just in the bedroom. If you missed it, Lily Claire Love and I had an amazing Facebook Live yesterday. We were discussing my book, Man's School, Relating with Women in the Me Too Era. And we were talking about sex and intimacy and consent and how that all works and how consent has become like a bad word and a thing that people freak out about and are frustrated by. Like, I have to stop and ask consent now, or consent is something that I have to give because if I don't, like, if I'm a bad person if I don't. And so there's a lot of shame and guilt around that word, where it's just whether something works for somebody or not in that moment. And it's not, uh, it's not a rejection. It's not a indictment. It's not anything negative other than somebody being able to say, something's just not right now, which could be any reason. And then that opens the door for communication. Okay, cool. Let's talk then. And let's get connected and let's get to, like, cuz the what Lily and I were talking about is how intimate just being with somebody is, and communicating and being able to breathe and share space and get connected. And then, if it is sex, that the consent is like, that's just like a heightened byproduct that will be even more amazing when there's that communication and that connection. Now, it's outside the bedroom. Consent and boundaries looks like knowing what works for you and what doesn't, knowing the type of communication that you can receive and not. And I shared how in the last couple of weeks I've had at least four people really push my boundaries, whether they were trying to have conversations that I said I'm not able to have right now, or imposing their criticisms on me, or imposing, like, advice that I didn't ask for on me. And, through all my work that I've done, I had a teacher years ago, like 20 years ago, who used to always say, never give unsolicited advice and always ask permission before you share something about somebody. And I live my life by that because, honestly, ask this for yourself. When was the last time somebody just bulldozed you and gave you advice or gave you a criticism and it made a difference for you? And what I've noticed is when I've started putting up that boundary and saying, I'm not going to talk about this right now. That doesn't work for me. We're not having this conversation. And holding that line, then those people come back with, oh, you're mean, you're an asshole, I can't believe you do this, you're a coach, you should know better. Because people who push boundaries don't want you to have boundaries. And so there's nothing wrong with holding your boundaries. And it sets the stage for, like, can you have these people in your life? Maybe not. Maybe you can. Maybe you can reach an equilibrium where they're like, okay, I know not to say this to Matthew. Or I know not to talk like this to him. There's nothing wrong with that. You get to do whatever you want. You get to uh, have the people in your life, have the communication, have the relationships that you want. And it starts with knowing, like, what's going to work for you and what's not going to work for you and what's going to trigger the fuck out of you. And who's going to, like, put you at ease and actually have a conversation with you and be interested in you, not just their ideas about you. So I'm glad I did this. I think this went deeper than yesterday. My new book, Man's School, comes out next Thursday, a week from today, June 14th. It'll be low price of $3.99 for that day, so you guys can jump in and buy it for friends. It's going to be awesome. I'll post the event link. Join the event, say you're coming, so I can notify you, and we can make it a bestseller so it reaches more people. And as always, I can be reached at coachwithmatthewsolomon.com, doing couples coaching, doing one-on-one coaching. Reach out. I'd love to talk to you. Thanks so much.